Hey my friends, everyone is welcome to another video here on this channel. I'm asking you all to hit the like button before we start this video. Let's go. As promised guys, I told you I was going to talk to you about my life, right? Like if it weren't for God in my life, because everything I've managed to achieve and do up to now, even if it's something small, God is ahead of me, God is in control, God guides me. And everything I ask for, guys, I always ask for God's protection in my life. It wasn't always like this, you know? Sometimes we have to go through a tough time so we can learn, right? And my life has never been easy, man. It was never easy. You all know that here in Brazil, things have never been easy, guys. We live in a country that's full of corruption, full of wrongdoing, where what's wrong is seen as right and what's right is seen as wrong. We're experiencing a huge reversal of values here in Brazil, aren't we? And man, only God can help us, you know, my friends. Yeah, there are a lot of good people, guys, but the ones in power, it's a rotten minority that's in power. But this minority has strength because they're infiltrated in Congress, in the justice system, in all the public institutions that were supposed to be run by good people, but they're corrupted, guys. So, you know, we don't have much of a solution except to ask God for strength and for divine justice, because if they don't pay for it here, well, the day they leave this earth, they'll pay, right? So my friends, here where I live is the outskirts, you know, it's a poor area. If you live in a poor place, it doesn't mean you're a bad person. Never. Like in the outskirts, which are called favelas here in Brazil, 95% of the people are good people. People who wake up early, who work, who pay their bills, who want good things for others, right? And that 5%, that's the rotten, dirty, disgusting minority, the thieves, the petty criminals, you know, who are only there to do harm. And that's how it really was. Guys, back when I used to work, first I started working at a car wash. I started working when I was 15 years old, you know, at 15 years old. I worked for about 3 years at that car wash. My father has no education. My father is illiterate, you know? My mother has little education. She can read. Thank God. My sister, she was the only one who managed to graduate from college. You know, she just graduated now. Her graduation was on Wednesday. In fact, I couldn't even go because I hurt my back carrying something heavy. We're building a barbecue grill upstairs and the grill came disassembled. Like it comes in blocks, you know, cement blocks. Yeah, I'll show you guys later when it's all set up. And that's how I ended up hurting my back. Sorry guys, sorry. So at this car wash, guys, I still had no idea that I would end up working as a locksmith, okay? But there, a lot of guys who had just gotten out of jail worked there. Yeah, a lot of petty thieves, a lot of addicts, you know? And I always got advice from my father. My father was never a studious guy because he's illiterate, like I mentioned. But he always gave me advice. He used to say, son, a man's character is what makes him grow, and be honest. It was something like that, okay guys? I don't really remember exactly, but the meaning was, never go down the wrong path, because the wrong path will catch up with you. In the future, it will come back to you. What you do here, you pay for here. I believe in that, you know? My friends, I was always offered to smoke some weed, a joint, to steal things from cars. I never did that, thank God, right? And man, we lived with a huge amount of temptation because my dad was unemployed at that time, you know. We lived in that little house that used to be just one room. Now it's 2 rooms, but back then it was just one. My sister wasn't born yet at that time, and man, we really needed money, you know. And thank God, today God is helping me with my YouTube channels, but it wasn't always like this, guys. And we were always going through hard times, you know, when I was a kid. Back then, my dad had problems with alcoholism. He smoked, you know. There are some things here that I won't go into detail about, guys, but when I was little, I suffered a lot because he drank, you know. So he would end up drinking and taking it out on me at home, right? So you can imagine, right? I wasn't a very happy child. My youth was pretty crappy, you know. Like, if you asked me, oh, would you want to go back to the past, to when you were a kid? I really wouldn't, man. For me, it wasn't a very good childhood, you know? Like, my dad was never able to give me anything, you know? It was only when I started working that I managed to buy a few little things for myself and help out at home. I remember that when I was little, the neighbors could see we were struggling, and sometimes they would give me money to buy some candy, a sweet, you know? Look, this is for you to buy candy, okay? Don't spend it on anything else, it's for candy. And I would take those little coins I got, and I always gave them to my mom to help make up what we needed to buy something we were missing at home, you know? Like, we never actually went without anything. Like, we were never hungry. But sometimes we were out of beans, missing basic things, you know? Like, that kind of thing shouldn't be missing for anyone. No one should have to go hungry, guys, because especially here in Brazil, the amount of food that's thrown away, if you put it all together, if you combined it from around the world, man, hunger would never exist, you know? Unfortunately, the governments don't see it that way. They'd rather throw away good things than put together a basket and go out donating, right? Unfortunately. So guys, then my time passed. I was always aware. When I went out with my friends, I didn't get into trouble. I kept to myself, you know? Those who were up to no good, who caused trouble, stayed over there. And I never smoked. I drank, yeah, I have drunk, guys, but I never really liked it either. I only drank when I was a kid, you know, back in school days. And man, that was it. Then I started working at a locksmith, right? Then my proposals to steal began. Cars, because we know we have the skill to open a car, to start a car. You know, like, man, to open a car without setting off the alarm. So we used to get offers for that all the time, guys. But man, that's something you can't come back from. You might make some money there, but you'll lose 10 times more down the road, you know? And God has always been good in my life. Because God blessed me at the locksmith shop, I was able to, you know, do a lot of things, help out at home, you know? My salary wasn't bad there at the locksmith shop. And after I left there, I started studying YouTube even more because I always had a bit of knowledge about YouTube. I always liked YouTube. And then God kept blessing me, and today I'm doing well. I've already opened this CNPJ, I have my own business now. I'm managing really well, right? When YouTube is slow for me in a given month, the salary is still much better than what I used to earn at the locksmith shop. So man, all I have is gratitude to God, because God has really helped me a lot, guys. God is everything in my life. If it weren't for God, I would be nothing. Absolutely nothing. I only live because God allows it. I can't wait for the Lord Jesus to return, guys, because what I tell you is, this world is done for, man. It's lost, my brothers. This world belongs to the evil one, you know? I don't get attached to material things, you know? I don't get attached. Like, if I have money, guys, I'm gonna buy the best thing, I'm gonna buy it. I'm not going to buy like, oh, I'll buy that cheap thing just to save money. If I know that, well, we save because we know we have to think about tomorrow. No, like, if there's something good and expensive and something cheap and bad, of course I'm going to buy the good and expensive one because I know I won't have any quality issues, right? I don't go by price, I go by quality. I've always been like that. And that's it, guys. I think the video is good enough now. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like. I don't even know, man, if I'm going to keep this channel going, my friends, because YouTube just isn't showing these videos from this channel, you know? So, I don't know, but who knows, right? If it starts getting views, we're here for it. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. See you next time. If you want to know anything, just leave it in the comments and we'll reply. The audio keeps cutting out all the time, man. And that's it, guys. I'm out.